What is going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you an update video on the 60p crystal red shrimp tank. So today I'm going to give you guys an update on the tank. It's been quite a few months since you guys last seen it. The tank has been maturing really nicely, so I'm going to quickly go over the new additions in the tank and also to kind of go over what has been going on with the tank. Alright, so the crystal red shrimps, they're doing really excellent in the tank. They actually like triple in size. As you can see here, a lot of them are like pretty much adult size, and I'm just waiting for a couple of them to berry up. I think there was a couple of them in here that looked like they were berried, but you know, the growth in these shrimps in the last couple months has been really amazing. From the last update, I did add in a dozen or so crystal red, but when I bought them, you know, they were nowhere near these size. They were like, you know, juvenile, really small, and again, like the last couple months, they've just taken off in terms of size. Alright, as you can see, there's also some fish in the tank as well. These are my chili rasboras. They were in the original 60p that was in the main display tank on the middle. I took that tank down and actually rescaped it, and it's in the process of getting cycled. So I went ahead and transferred the chili rasboras in this tank, and actually I kind of went with the red theme because, you know, the crystal reds were red, chili rasboras was red, and you know, it worked out really well. So these guys are doing really well in here. I'm not really too concerned about them, you know, eating, I guess, the shrimps, because these guys are really small, and I've had them with shrimp before in the past, and I've had no issues with them eating like little baby shrimps. I'm not saying that they won't, but I haven't had any issues. Since this is a low-tech tank, I'm still trying to find the fine balance between the light and nutrients for this tank. I'm not really pumping any CO2 into this tank. I do dose like Kessil maybe once a week, and it's really not even that much. I do have a little bit of algae on the glass still, and I do have to scrape once a week, so it's not terrible, but I still want to find that balance so that I don't have the algae. Now, the algae in the tank is not, you know, anything harmful for the actual plants or anything like that. The shrimps actually like the algae, and they'll actually graze on it once in a while too, so it's actually beneficial for them. This is my mini Catherine Buce that is the only patch that actually survived in a patch. Everything else that had divvied up kind of like either melted back really bad, and I broke up like a lot of them, and I kind of just plant them around randomly. But this side here, this patch has done, I guess, the best out of all of them, and it's still continuing to grow really well. So once it propagates a little bit better and more, I'll go ahead and split them and kind of fill in the gaps that I want on the far left side. These plants are slow growers, so I'm not expecting to trim or even split any of these anytime soon. Alright, and in the far back, these are my Crypts. This species of Crypts is the pink Flamingo. When I got them, they were all really kind of nice and red, but when I put them in this tank, they all reverted to not being pink. So maybe a couple weeks ago, I started dosing a little bit more iron to try to bring out the red in these plants. If you remember, when I started the tank, I put a bunch of iron sticks towards the bottom of the tank, and once the roots actually hit the bottom, they'll probably pull a lot more iron from there, and hoping that the red and pink will come out once their roots hit that iron stick down the bottom. But right now, the Crypt are growing really slow, but they're actually growing at a pretty steady pace. I actually ended up having to split maybe one or two of these guys and planting them across the other back end there. So maybe in a couple more months, they'll actually start reaching the top, and it'll start filling in really nicely. As the tank starts to age, as you can see, there's a lot of algae growing along the rocks, and it makes the rocks look really natural, and I really like that a lot. These dragonstones have so much characters and so much holes and nooks and crannies that the shrimps here, they kind of go in and out, and they kind of find a little home here and there. So it's really fun to watch them kind of swim, find a little hole, run in there, and just kind of like, you know, say, oh, this is my little apartment. And as you can see, as I propagate a little bit more Buce, I kind of stick them in between these little holes here to try to fill in the actual dragonstone. So hopefully in probably 6 more months or so, I can actually propagate some over here and hopefully fill in this dragonstone with those Buce. And so far, the filter is working really well. This is actually my first time using this Fluval C2 hang on the back filter. I normally go canister, but again, due to kind of where the tank is, and I couldn't fit a canister next to this tank, I went ahead and did a hang on the back filter, and actually this filter works really well and I really like it so far. It has, I bought basically like a sponge to attach the intake here so that the little baby shrimps and shrimps won't get sucked up. But you know, this filter alone, you know, powers this whole tank and actually looks like it's doing really well. The only one thing is every week I do have to clean the intake just because the sponge is really small, so it can get clogged really easily, so I have to clean that. And then the flow of this, maybe every 2 weeks I actually have to go in here and just kind of make sure that everything is clean so that the flow is still relatively good. But for the most part, you know, hang on the backs are really super easy to clean. The only drawback that I ran into was, as you can see, this compartment that holds your biomedia. It's kind of small, so when I was cycling the tank here, it took a little bit longer than usual. It took maybe closer to 4 weeks. But other than that, the filter works really well. I really do like it a lot. And then in terms of the lighting, I'm still rocking the Kessil light. I really like this because I can adjust it. Since it's a low-tech tank, I keep it on the lower end of the intensity. The light, in terms of the color, is all the way kind of max because, you know, as you turn this, it could be more yellow. This is more white. It's actually on the max side, so it could be a little bit more white. And in terms of the actual output, it looks like it's about 75 to 80% max output. Hopefully in the next couple months, we'll have some buried shrimps and this whole tank can explode with little baby shrimps. And hopefully this whole tank is just consumed by little shrimps. So I think that would be really cool to see shrimps everywhere in the tank. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the update on the 60p here. I'm going to do probably another underwater video shot of the shrimp, get some close-up actions for you guys, and until next time guys, peace.